Welcome everyone. Let's see. Today maybe let's work on backbends a little bit more today. Bridge, maybe camel, and if you're into it, we could even do wheel pose. And I think we'll start on our backs. A little bit of breathing, a little bit of core work to begin with. So come onto your back as if you were in Shavasana, but with the feet on the ground and the knees bent. We're just going to work on the breath to begin with. So just place the right hand on the belly, left hand somewhere on the ribs. And we're just going to focus on the breath. It's time to take long deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Inhale, feel the belly rise, chest rise. Exhale, chest is sinking, and then the belly sinks. Inhale into the belly, lower chest, upper chest. Exhale from the upper chest, the lower chest, the belly. Inhale belly, lower chest, upper chest. Exhale from the upper chest, lower chest, belly. Just go a few times at your pace. And make that movement nice and smooth. A little bit deeper each time. So what we're going to do next, we're going to go in and out of bridge with the breath. So we're going to keep the feet pulled in, hip distance apart, feet parallel. And we inhale as we bring the hips up. And we exhale as we slowly come down. Inhale coming up. Exhale coming down. And you're going to engage all those muscles, all those core muscles as you come up on the inhale. Keep them engaged, especially the glutes. Exhale coming down. And we relax for a moment before we come back up. Inhaling coming up. Exhale coming down. Just go a few more times. Going down slowly and controlled. And the next time we're up, we're going to hold. So hold bridge. Keep the gaze towards the ceiling. Don't gaze from side to side. Interlace the fingers. Walk the shoulders in a little bit closer. A little bit closer. So there's no pressure on the neck. Feet pushed into the ground, open the chest, arms, hands pushed into the ground. Take 3 or 4 breaths here. And then we slowly come down, releasing the arms, bring down the upper back, mid back, lower back. Pull the knees in. Rock from side to side, and then bring the hands behind the head, extend the legs, so the legs are a few inches off the ground, head is supported, head is off the ground, you're pushing the lower back into the mat, working that core for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we come all the way down. Just relax, keeping the head resting on the palms. Walk the feet in again. Knees come up slightly, extend the legs. So the legs maybe 6-7 inches off the ground. Bring the head up, push the lower back into the ground for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Walk the feet in. Bring the hands down either side of you. Knees come in. Little gap between the legs, and we're going to bring the hands either side of the legs, and you're going to use as much arm strength as you possibly can, trying to squeeze those legs together. And breathe. Maybe about 5 breaths. Arms are working a lot. And then we bring the hands, making fists, bringing the fists inside the legs. Again, as much arm strength as you can, trying to separate the legs. The legs won't let that happen. And then bringing the palms onto the front of the thigh, just below the knee. This time we're going to use as much strength as we can with the arms, trying to push those legs away. This time you're going to feel that core working a lot. Really work those arms, pushing harder, breathing. And then bring the hands behind the legs. This time we're trying to pull the legs in nice and close. Bring the arms either side of you. They're at about 20 degrees, legs up to the ceiling. So we're trying to keep 90 between the torso and the legs. We're going to take the legs over to one side, about halfway down. We bring the legs back up to center, halfway down over to the other side. So we're just going from side to side, just like windshield wipers. And the arms are helping us to go slow and to help us bring the legs back up. You don't want to go down too far, don't make it too difficult to come back up, but far enough so that you feel that you are getting a little bit of a workout here. Trying to strengthen those muscles. And we're doing a little bit of a twist as well, so we're getting the back warmed up here. A couple more times each side. Maybe going a little bit lower this time, if you can. Back to center. We bring the feet down to the ground, and we just relax for a breath or two. And now we're going to just work on the feet a little bit, give the feet a little bit of attention. We're going to bring the left leg up to the ceiling, take hold of the back of the leg, and we're just going to point the toes and then flex. Just point and flex. Do that about 10 times. And then we rotate the foot in one direction. And then we rotate in the other direction. And then we point and flex again. Just working the feet, just loosening them up. Getting the Achilles tendon stretched out a little bit. And then the other leg, holding onto the back of the other leg, we point and flex, point and flex. Do that a few more times. And then we rotate in one direction. And the other direction. Point of legs again. And then we come all the way down. And then we're going to hold onto the knees. Actually, it's on the back of the legs, just roll ourselves up. So a friend of mine, this is a while ago, a couple of months ago, these wasps went for him. So and this guy's not particularly fit. And he doesn't like the yellow jackets. They were after him, so he ran away as fast as he could, and he pulled his Achilles tendon, and it's taking months to heal. He's been in a cast. He couldn't drive for weeks, and he's still not totally over it yet. So it's always good, and I think it helps to stretch out, so that if you're in a situation like that, you're not going to suddenly stretch out something, a tendon or a muscle, and hurt yourself. So I think that's one of the great advantages of yoga, is it gets you ready for those situations. A nice way that I like to stretch out the back of the heels is I'm just on my toes, like so I'm high up I'm on the knees, high up on the feet. So this is stretching out my toes. And then I'm just going to bring my hands on either side of the knees and just come up a little bit. And I find this is a good stretch for the back of the feet. And then if you slowly come down, so my heels are 1 inch or 2 off the ground, and again I feel that stretch there. Some people might not feel the stretch, but it's a little bit of a stretch for me. And then the lower you go, maybe you're going to feel a little bit more stretch. If you can't get the heels to the ground, and maybe roll the mat up, just put the mat underneath the heels, and you get a little bit of a stretch there. Come back onto the toes, and the knees come down. Let's go into a low lunge. So this is going to stretch out the front of that back leg. The front of the hip is going to stretch out the quads. And we're just going to switch. Just a gentle stretch to begin with. We haven't done our warm-up salutations yet, so we're just gently stretching the front out. And then we're going to come into Sphinx. Elbows are under the shoulders. We're looking up. So we're opening the front of the chest. We're going to make fists. We tuck the toes. We come into forearm plank. You probably knew that was going to happen. I do this a lot. Chin is tucked. You're looking at the mat. You're pushing the forearms into the ground a lot. Try not to sink between the shoulder blades. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold if you can. Bring the feet closer. Bring one leg up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Other leg comes up if you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We come all the way down and relax. You guys should know if it starts to be a struggle, what you can do in the planks is you can bring the knees down, or you can just take a little breather. Hands underneath the shoulders. Come into upward facing dog. So I'm going to bring my whole body forward. I'm going to bring the hips off the ground. I'm opening that chest. So my knees are down, but my hips are up. If you want you can bring the knees up as well. You've got to protect the back, you've got to engage those muscles to protect the back. And then just sit on the heels for a bit. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to get more opening of the front body and the front of the legs, and that's going to allow us to go into those back bends, because when you're doing those back bends, you need that opening at the front, the whole body. But we take it easy, and we work the glutes to protect the back a little bit. Come onto your hands and knees. Inhale, belly down, head up, cat-cow. Exhale, rounding the back, tucking the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Moving slowly, moving with the breath. Rounding the back as much as you can in cat, opening the chest as much as you can in cat. Inhaling into cat, exhaling into cat. Nice smooth movement, working from the base of the spine up into the neck. Stay on your hands and knees. Tuck the toes, come into downward facing dog. Bending the knees if you need to. Checking the feet are parallel. Come onto the toes. As you come onto the toes, you bring in the shoulders over the wrists, chin is tucked, and then you slowly transition into upward facing dog. Engaging the core as you come into upward facing dog. Inhaling. Exhale as you go back into downward facing dog. Do the best you can. This is a challenging pose. One more time. High up on the toes, you bring in the shoulders over the wrists, you're keeping the elbows in close. You're inhaling as you come into upward facing dog, engaging the glutes, looking up. You keep the core engaged. You exhale back into downward facing dog. Look forward between the hands, walk forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward, head relaxed. Inhale, breath core brings us up. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Reach up towards the ceiling, look up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. This time keep the fingers interlaced. Index finger towards the ceiling. We're going to take a little bit of a side stretch. We're going to lean over to one side. Stretching out the side body, looking up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Go a little deeper with the breath if you can, and if it feels good. Inhale up, reach up. Exhale over to the other side. One more each side. Inhale coming up, reaching up. Exhale over. Inhale, length, exhale into the stretch. Inhale coming up, interlace the fingers behind you, pull the shoulders down, shoulder blades in together, and we're just going to start hinging forward at the hips, looking up. We go as far as we can, and then we start tucking the chin, looking at the legs. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, be kind to the shoulders, trying to bring the arms up a little bit higher if you can. It's almost like you're trying to relax those shoulders. So try and lose that tension, let them open naturally, not forcing it, just encouraging it. And then we bend the knees, the arms come down, and we slowly roll up, inhaling as the arms come up. Exhale, bring the palms together, palms to chest. Keep the palms together, keep the palms at the chest, close the eyes, take a breath or two. Relax the shoulders, but keep length, keep the collarbone broad. And then bring the arms either side of you. Come to the front of the mat. Bend the knees. Inhale into chair. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we come back into plank. Chaturanga, or knees, chin, chest to ground. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now let's try this one more time. Heels over the toes, shoulders over the wrists. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling, extended down dog. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, warrior one. So the feet are making 45. We bring those arms up. Looking up. Warrior two. I take the feet a little bit wider. I'm keeping that front knee nicely lined up. Lines of energy through the arms. Reverse warrior. And then we flow to the other side. Plank. Chaturanga, knees, chin, chest to ground. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Extended down dog. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, back foot 45. Coming into warrior one. Take a breath or two. Warrior two. Readjusting the feet as necessary. Looking over that front knee. Keeping the shoulders nice and soft. Reverse warrior. And then we come back into plank. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. And let's do child's pose, take a breath or two. So not too long, don't get too comfy. Bring the hands behind you. A little bit of a camel kind of prep pose. So the fingers are pointing towards the front of the mat. Fingers are pretty in line with the toes. Elbows slightly bent, and then we're going to really open the chest. We do this quite often. So I'm trying to open the chest as much as I can. Head goes back carefully. And if you want, you can bring the hips up. You breathe. We bring the sit bones down. We slide the hands forward. We come back into downward facing dog. We bring the right leg up to the ceiling. We're going to go back into warrior one from extended. Bringing that foot between the hands, back foot turned in, warrior one. And then warrior two. Reverse warrior. Now this time we're going to go into Trikonasana. So we come back into warrior two. We straighten that front leg. So we've got both legs straight. We reach to the side of the room, reaching over that right leg. You bring that right hand down, wherever it lands, that's the spot. You bring the other arm up. You don't want to bring the hand down and then slide it down. You want to keep the top ribs same length as the bottom ribs. And then you're going to look up towards that top hand. You breathing. We come back up. And we're just going to swivel on the heels just so I can see you guys. Or at least see the at least you can see me. Warrior 2. Actually, Warrior 1. I'll do Warrior 1, Warrior 2, right? Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Front knees bent. And then we do a, reverse warrior with the front knee bent. I'm eager to get into Trikonasana. Front leg straight. You reach forward, so we're hinging at that joint of the femur. Left hand down, right arm up. We're looking up. You're breathing. So we're trying to keep both legs straight. You're trying to lift up the insteps. You don't make sure you don't drop. Make sure you don't drop the head. And we're opening up. We're breathing. Trying to engage the quads. We come back up. We take the feet wide apart. Feet are parallel. We bring the hands down to the ground, so the hands are at the shoulders. We keep the fingers or the hands on the ground. Try not to move them. And we just straighten one leg as we bend the opposite knee. Just working the inside of the legs, working the hips, just getting a little bit more mobility there. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Going a little bit deeper each time. And we're going to keep one leg straight, one knee bent, straight leg. Foot is on the ground, edge of the outer foot pushed into the ground. Inhale up, exhale to the other side, hold that for a breath or two. Really pushing that foot into the ground. And then we even the legs out, we walk the feet in, heel toe, heel toe. And we inhale as we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Okay, good job, nicely warmed up. Let's do tree. We haven't been doing tree for a while. I used to do it every class. Haven't been doing it as often. So we're going to bounce on the left foot. Right foot is coming inside the leg, below or above the knee. Standing leg is active. Bring the palms together, palms to chest. Keep that standing leg active. And whenever you're ready, the arms can come up. Arms facing each other, you're breathing. Tree is a nice pose. You're going to strengthen that standing leg. You're opening that hip, you're opening the hips. You're having to concentrate just to be here. If the balance is a challenge, try just focusing on the ground somewhere. Or you can even lean against a wall or something if you need to. You're going to start feeling that standing leg working. Probably the calf muscle gets it first, then the ankle. Those foot exercises at the beginning helped. Make it easier on the foot while we're in this pose. And we bring the hands down. And we shake everything out. Good job. It's not easy to hold it that long. Right. Loosen the shoulders. There we go. Other side. We're on the right foot, left foot. If you need to, if you want to just keep the foot on the ground, you can. Or you can keep the foot here below the knee or above the knee. All I ask is try not to push into the knee. You don't want to hurt the knee joint. And we're opening the hips, so this left knee is over to the side. And then usually I bring the palms together, open the chest, and then I bring the arms up. I just take my time. I then work on that leg, that standing leg. I'm trying to engage the quads. If your foot is above the knee, you should be able to feel those inner quads working. Shoulders, I'm reaching up and pulling the shoulder blades down slightly. If you want, you can have the hands touching, but I like them parallel and apart. You're breathing. And as I say, if the balance is a little bit challenging, Just focus on something that's not moving. And if I keep talking and distracting you, maybe you don't feel that leg working too much. I know as you hold this, you start to feel it in the ankle, the calf muscle. You're working those legs, you're strengthening those legs. This is good. This is good for you guys. And we come down and we release and relax. So while we're here, why don't we do eagle pose, another standing pose I like, and then we'll work into our back bends. Eagle. Feet are parallel. We bring the arms up. I usually work on the arms first and then on the legs. So I'm going to take the right arm under the left arm and get the hands parallel, the palms or the back of the hands, and then I sit in chair. If you want to just stay here, that is just fine. The next phase would be to bring the right leg onto the left leg, squeezing the legs together. You can stop here. If you want to go even further, you try and hook that foot. Don't let it bother the knee. Once you're there, make sure the arms are centered. You can sit a little deeper. You can lean back slightly. You can either touch the nose or you can bring the arms up higher, whatever feels good for you. You breathe it. So we've got a shoulder opener, a hip opener, and a balance here. There's a lot going on eagle pose. Urdhva. We release. We shake everything out. Move those shoulders. Other side. Arms come up. Left arm under the right arm. Getting the hands parallel. Back of the hands or the palms. We're in chair. This is this nice stopping point, but if you want to go further, left leg on top, and we try and hook that foot. Sometimes I can hook it, sometimes I can't. It's easier sometimes another time. This time it seems to be working for me. We center the arms. It depends how sticky my legs are. Sometimes there's too much friction. Lean back, see if you can touch the nose, or you can take the arms up. You breathe in. Feel that hip opening. Feel that opening across the upper shoulders, between the shoulder blades. And then we release, shake everything out. Interlace the hands again. Let's do this one more time. Really open that chest. Look up. Hinge forward. Keep looking up. Just hinge as far as you can. And then you tap the chin. And then you bring the arms up. Breathe. Head is totally relaxed. Try and relax the shoulders. Just let them naturally come up towards the ceiling. The arms up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees, bring the arms down, and shake everything out. Okay, a few back bends. So say with back bends, we want to open the front of the legs, we want to open the chest. So let's go into another lunge. Let's bring the right foot forward. This is going to open the front of that back leg. I'm sinking, but at the same time I'm pulling that front foot in. Breathing. So the lunges, the cobras, the up dogs, they're all good before you go into back bends. And we're just going to switch legs. And then we come into plank. Chaturanga, inhaling into up dog. Open, hold on up dog for a breath or two. You're engaging those glutes. Should be no pressure on the lower back. I'm pulling my whole body forward. My shoulders are not shrugging, so you don't want to You don't want to drop between the shoulders. You're looking up. Engage the core like crazy as you go back into downward facing dog. There should be no discomfort in the lower back in these poses. If you feel any discomfort, try engaging the core a little bit more. If you still bothers the back, you bring the knees down, or you come down onto the forearms. Just take it like a Sphinx pose. Keep that back safe. Camel prep. We're high up on the knees, and my toes are on the ground, and heels are high. We're just going to support the lower back. Some of you might not be going into anything deeper than the camel prep. So we're supporting the lower back. We're going to keep the hips over the knees. You guys should know this. And we're going to slowly lean back. I start off with the chin tucked. My glutes are working slightly. And then I'm going to slowly, carefully lower the head if the neck is good. You breathe. Hold for about 3 breaths. My back feels happy. Where I feel it most is the stretch at the front of the legs. That's where I feel it. And then I engage the core a lot as I slowly come back up. And usually after camel, you want to take child's pose. So let's go into child's pose for about 4 breaths. The full camel, we come back high up on the knees. As I say, if you don't want to do the full camel, you do the previous pose, supporting the lower back. If you can't keep the hips over the knees and you can't hold on to the heels, just do this supported pose. The way most people get into camel is they'll bring one arm up, and they'll reach for one heel. They'll bring the other arm up, and then they'll reach for the other heel. Now usually I start off with the chin tucked. Once I've got contact with the heels, I'll shift those hips forward slightly, and then I slowly take the head back. I'm trying to keep the hips over the knees, and I'm breathing. And I'll up the heels. I'm actually pulling my hips forward. It's a little bit of a tug of war between the shoulders and the hands. As you come out, you bring one arm up. Other arm up comes with the head. And then you come back into child's pose. And we just hang out here. Come up, sit on the heels. So most people say to keep the glutes engaged. That helps to protect the back. I don't tend to grip them as tight as possible, but you want some engagement of those glutes. One more time. As I say, if you prefer, you can just support the back like this as you lean back. You can keep the chin tucked if you have any neck issues. So we're high up on the knees. I usually keep the heels high, the less distance to reach with the hands, but some people will bring the top of the feet on the ground. This is my preference. We bring one arm up, so I'm trying to keep the arm close to the head, and I bring it to one heel. I bring the other arm up, and I'm bringing it to the other heel. My chin is tucked, I'm shifting the hips forward, my glutes are working. I'm opening the whole front body. I'm breathing, head goes back slowly. Take about 3 or 4 breaths. And as you come out, One arm comes up, head comes up as you bring the second arm up, and we come into child's pose. Stay in child's pose, but we're going to walk the hands over to one side, just stretching out the lower back a little bit more. So I'm reaching over to my left side with my right hand. My forehead is just resting on my left hand, and I'm just feeling a stretch on the right side of the lower back. And then we do the same on the other side, reaching over with the left hand from child's pose, supporting the head if you need to. And we recenter and we come up. So let's go into bridge, and if you guys have a wheel practice, you can go into wheel after bridge. So wheel, I've done wheel with you from time to time. It's a very challenging back bend, but if you want to try it, you're welcome. I'm going to move this direction because the sun is getting into my face again. So we're going to go, if you have a block, I would have a block handy. Because if you don't want to do wheel, you could do like just a supported bridge. Walk the feet in, the feet are parallel, and we're just going to go straight up into bridge. I like to keep a straight line, knees through the hips to the shoulders. Remember, always gaze towards the ceiling, not to the side. Once you're up in bridge, then we walk the arms closer, shoulders closer, and we push the arms and the hands into the ground. Bridge should be easy after all the back bending, and we started off the class with an easy bridge. So to get into wheel, if you don't wheel, you could slide the block underneath, you could do a restorative. To get into wheel, you can come into it from bridge, or you've already walked the arms in nice and close, you just bring the hands either side of the shoulders. My hands are out slightly so that I can keep my arms parallel. You don't want to let the arms splay out. Now usually I'll come up onto my toes, so I'm bringing the heels up. And then I'll inhale as I come onto the top of the head. And I just gently walk the hands in a little bit closer. And then I inhale as I come all the way up. My head is totally relaxed. I'm trying to straighten the arms a little bit more. Keeping the legs parallel. Try not to let the legs splay out. You're breathing. And this is going to open the whole front body. Keep the back nice and safe. Glutes are working a little bit. I'm trying to straighten the arms a little bit more. As you come down, before the head comes to the ground, make sure you tap the chin so you don't crunch the neck. And then you come all the way down. A nice back bend. Some of you are just doing bridge, some of you are in restorative bridge, right? Wheel is a challenging pose. If you want, you can come into wheel in just one go. You don't have to bring the head down first, but I find it a little bit easier. But if you want to come up just on one breath, come up on the inhale. I'm walking the feet in, I'm grabbing the legs, walking the feet in, keeping the feet parallel. I'll then come up just like I would into bridge. I'll walk the shoulders in. I'll bring the hands either side of the shoulders, hands out slightly. Inhale. Exhale. Next inhale, I'm going to come up. So I just do that on one inhale. Sometimes I walk the feet forward, sometimes I bring the feet to the ground. I'm breathing. I'm opening the chest. Head is totally relaxed. Whoops. and then I'm coming down. My mat was getting a bit slippy then, so hence the whoops. Okay. Restorative. This is good to do. You're on the block is underneath the sacrum, arms either side of you. You can just totally relax. If you don't have a block, you can just be in Shavasana with the knees bent. And don't forget, keep the gaze towards the ceiling. I'm just getting my breath back. So after backbends, it's good to do twists. So what we're going to do before we do a twist, we're going to come down. If you have a block there, put the block to one side, pull the knees in, and you're just going to rock from side to side a few times. And we're going to do some seated twists. So we'll take hold of the legs and we'll just rock ourselves up. So seated twist. I'm going to pull my right foot in nice and close. This leg is extended if you have any knee issues. And the other foot is outside, the foot is solidly on the ground. The foot can be inside the knee if you prefer. The next, you either hug the left leg or you bring the arm outside. Now to get the arm outside, I tend to round the back so I can get a little bit deeper and then a little bit more leverage, and then I'll start to straighten up. My left hand is behind, and then I'm turning, looking to behind me. Inhaling, getting tall, exhale into that twist. Sometimes my back clicks, I don't know if you heard it, did a little click then. And after 3 or 4 breaths, if you want, you can rotate through 360, or if you're not in the mood to do that, you just switch legs. Bottom leg can be straight if you want, or if you prefer it for the knee, and you're hugging that knee, or you bring the arm outside. I try and get the arm really outside the leg, then I get nice and tall, and then into that twist. Inhale, we unwind. Baddha Konasana. Bringing the feet together. Rocking from side to side. Pulling those hips forward, trying to get the back neutral. Flap the wings. It's also called butterfly pose. And then I'm rocking a bit more. I'm trying to bring those legs towards the ground. A lot of arm strength here. Breathe. And then we're going to extend both legs forward. We'll do an easy forward bend. So Dandasana, staff pose, you're sitting nice and tall, trying to get a 90 degree between the torso and the legs. Kneecaps, toes up towards the ceiling. Inhale as the arms come up, looking up. You're going to try and keep that length as you gently fold forward. And if you have a strap, you could use a strap, if you can't, especially if you can't reach the feet. And I'd like to rock from side to side a few times. I'll come back up, trying to keep hold of the feet. I'm hinging forward, and then I'll gently take the forward bend. Make sure the back is safe, try not to round the back too much. I'm just trying to get a stretch at the back of the legs, and a gentle stretch at the back. gentle is the important word for this one. I'm always careful with forward bends. Come onto your back. Full body stretch. Bringing the arms over the head, trying to get as much length as you can. It's almost like a bit of a traction. So I'm going to bring my hips. So I'm pushing the heels into the ground. I'm bringing my hips up. And I'm trying to pull the hips away from the feet. And then next, I'll push the head into the ground and I'm trying to bring my back up and away from the hips. It's like a caterpillar action in my mind. So hips come up away from the feet, and then we're bringing them back away from the hips. And then finally, you want to get length in the neck, so I tuck the chin, lift the head up, and then replace the head on the ground, trying to get that length. Walk the feet in. Recline pigeon. We're bringing the outer of the left foot onto the right leg, and we're going to take hold of the back of that right leg, pulling those legs in. The foot that's close to you is flexed, dorsiflexion. Forearm can be against the inside of the leg if you want to get a little bit more hip opening here. And you can rock from side to side if you want, if it feels good. And then we're going to switch legs. Then hold the back of the other leg. And then legs in, you're trying to get the tailbone nice and low. Keeping the head supported. Forearm against the inside of that right leg. Maybe rock. And then you come out of recline pigeon and pull the knees in. Happy baby, holding onto the feet. So this time the legs are pretty wide apart. The legs are you're trying to get the legs outside the ribs. Quite a lot of arm strength. I'm trying to get the tailbone as low. And if you want to straighten the legs, you can hold on to the feet, you can hold on to the big toe. Some people like to bring the first two fingers, the thumb around the big toe, and then straighten the legs into the V position. Or at least approach that. And again, tailbone is down. So as I'm pulling the legs in closer, as I'm trying to straighten the legs down, I'm also trying to bring that tailbone down rather than the tailbone up like this. Trying to get that tailbone down. Almost like you're trying to get the lower back off the ground. And you're going to feel this on probably the inside of the legs, maybe the hamstrings as well. And we release. We take another full body stretch. This time we're going to add a little bit of a side stretch. So get that length and then get into that banana shape, stretching out one side of the body. And then stretch out the other side. And then recenter, Shavasana. Bring the arms either side of you, palms facing up. And just totally relax. Letting the whole body get heavy. Maybe moisten the lips. If you can, breathe in and out through the nose, regular breathing. Just make sure you're not holding tension. And then just let yourself sink into the ground. If you want to hold Shavasana longer, I would actually encourage it. If you're ready to come out, just roll over to one side. People usually roll over to the right side. And then we're slowly going to come up. And keep the eyes closed, and you're just going to come into a seated position. Sitting nice and tall. Well, let's take 3 breaths, 3 ohms. Let's see if I can do the ohms today. So bring the palms together, palms to chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone.